Hey YouTube family, Zach Klemmer, living in Tucson. I'm a realtor at eXp Realty in Tucson, and this message is especially for baby boomers and Gen Xers. If you have elderly parents and they're still with you, I hope they're well. I hope that your family is blessed. I remember my earliest memories moving to Southern California in the mid-50s. My father and his dad were steel workers in Gary, Indiana, who also happened to be real estate investors. And the transition was kind of interesting in that my dad was saving up to buy his first duplex, and they moved into a 10-foot travel trailer. So when I started kindergarten in 1957, I lived with my mom and dad in this 10-foot travel trailer, and it kind of made my mom uncomfortable because she couldn't invite the neighbor ladies over for coffee. But as things went on, they bought their first duplex in Panorama City, and my life started to unfold. I remember watching Jack LaLanne on TV, and my dad was a lot like Jack LaLanne. He was fit, he did calisthenics and exercises every morning. He was very picky about his diet, wouldn't eat any sugar or dessert, and every time I got a cold or got ill, he'd ask me, "Well, you've been eating sugar again, haven't you? Or you've been eating chocolate again, or having a Coke." It's kind of funny right now, but that's what I remember. I still remember my parents when they were young, or at least younger. They were really great physical specimens. My dad not only looked a lot like Jack LaLanne, he talked like Jack LaLanne and lived a lot like Jack LaLanne, just without the TV show. And my mom was really beautiful. She looked a lot like Lauren Bacall, who, incidentally, it would have been Lauren Bacall's 100th birthday just a few days ago. Well, my parents were very disciplined. My mom kept a very tidy and neat home. It was always very clean, and she was also a career woman. She worked in retail. When we lived in Indiana, my mom owned her own business with one of her sisters, but that's a story for another video. My dad was also very disciplined. He had this workshop in the garage that he liked to putter in after work and after dinner. But my dad had this other idiosyncrasy, is that he liked to collect building materials, and as the years went by, you couldn't even fit one car, let alone two cars, in his two-car garage. The only free space in there was for my motorcycle and where his workbench was, right around there, and that was some friction in the family. The aging process is normal and natural. It's best to work on our fitness and health every day to extend it as long as possible. As my younger sister and I grew up and went through adolescence, we each got married and moved out of our parents' home, and my parents were still very active. My parents had a motorhome that they would love to travel all over the western states. They loved polka dancing, which they would generally go to a dance on Saturday night and sometimes on Sunday. One year after we had moved to Tucson, they drove out to Mesa to go to a dance, and then drove down from Mesa to visit us in our home in Tucson with my family. My dad was 86 years old at the time. He was so fit, and he still looked like Jack. They're only a few years apart in age between Jack LaLanne and my dad. And he looked more like he was 56 than 86. And then I didn't see my dad for a couple of years. but I talked to my mom on the phone all the time, and it began to really concern me that she kept informing me of my dad's behavior changes. He'd start to eat everything that was set down in front of him. He was no longer on a strict diet. He stopped getting up early. He stopped exercising. And I could really sense that he had started to decline emotionally, mentally, and physically. Then a few years later, after I last saw him, we were building our new home in Casas Adobes. And after we completed the construction, we moved in right before Thanksgiving in 1997. And that Christmas, my parents flew out from Los Angeles to see us and to see our new home. And I was shocked at my dad's condition. When my mom and dad came out to see us, my dad was 89 years old, and the difference within those 2 or 3 years was really striking. Rather than a vigorous 50-something gentleman, he was stooped over, he had lost several inches in height. He looked like he was very shriveled up and even less communicative than he was before. And it was very shocking to me because I expected him to live to be 100 and to be nearly as vigorous at 100 as he was at 80, and yet my projections of the future didn't hold up to what I assumed would be part of our family history. So it's very important to not only take care of you, but to take care of your family. And a lot of the things that you can do right now is to be organized, to understand where your assets are, to get in touch with an attorney that specializes in estate planning, and just to keep very well organized and remove from your life all the unnecessary clutter, all the necessary things that are holding you back from enjoying your life every day, because humans have a capacity to assume that where they are right now is based on the past, rather than creating something from our imagination, by creating something out of our discipline, and by showing love and appreciation and gratitude, not only for what we have achieved, but also from being members of our family. I'm Zak Klemmer. This is ZakKlemmer-LivingInTucson on YouTube. I'm here for you every day. My number is 520-358-4180. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm here for you. If you have any questions regarding real estate, or you would just like to chat and share your concerns, my ear is open. Have a great day.